Hello. So this one should be for Monday. I'm recording all my content in one go because it's my birthday week. It's my birthday on Saturday, and also Dan's going to be away for the week as well. So I'm getting all my content just done quick. Now, what I'm basing this week's content on is fun. I had a lot of conversations in the last 2 weeks. People who've got stuck or just want more information. So what I've done is I've taken out the things which would help the majority of people who've come to me already. So one of the things that we were taught when we first joined Laurel, and Nick was also showing us stuff, was how to identify and remove your most immediate constraint in your business. And the reason why this is really important is because there are so many distractions right now, and we don't really know where to put our time and energy, but there's only so much time and energy, and most people only have a small amount of resources when it comes to things like money as well right now. So it's very, very, very important that you put them in the right places. And there really are so many things you could be doing. How would you know which one to do unless you had some kind of way of filtering out what's most important at this moment in time? So just like if you're in recovery from a sports injury, you want to do things in the right order. So let's go through how this works. So if you are running a business or starting a business or in the middle of your business, it could be at any point, but you're not sure where to focus on right now, or you've been focusing on something and not getting the results which you'd like, it's very likely that you don't know which constraint to focus on. It's very likely you're focusing on the wrong thing. So let's go through this exercise together. This is Nick's idea, okay? So this is what he works through, and they liken it, both he and Laurel liken it to having a hose. And you can imagine you turn the tap on, if there's loads of kinks in the hose, the water's not going to flow through. So that's synonymous with turning on your ad marketing budget or doing a lot of something for your business and no revenue coming out then because of all the kinks that are in your hose. And your most immediate constraint is the kink that you want to undo the first to get something to flow through, okay? So that's your most immediate constraint. It's your single biggest bottleneck blocking your progress. So you find that if you get good at identifying and solving that constraint every single day, that's when growth really does compound, okay? We do this with all our clients too, so it's something that we're used to doing. So we've learned through Laurel and Nic. Right, so what do you do? Well, you're going to find, this is what I found anyway, every single bottleneck falls into one of these areas. So it could be the offer doesn't suit your ideal client. You might be offering something that's not right for what it is you do. It could be that you've not got enough lead generation coming through, although most of the time that's not very likely at the moment for many people. They seem to have more leads than they know what to do with. They just don't know what to do with them. It could be you're not very good at making sales. You could have loads of calls booked in every week and you don't know how to sell to people. It could be a back-end constraint, which could be where you've got enough leads and you're good at doing sales, but maybe something's not working in the back end. So it could be just that people are dropping out of your pipeline or something. It could be that you don't know how to handle your business properly. So any leads that does come in and sign up, maybe you forget to get them started straight away and they just go, no, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Can I have my money back, please? They give me a refund. So let's have a look at how your business is set up for onboarding or something like that. Are you setting expectations properly? Or it could be a retention constraint, which is, you need to look after your clients. If you've promised them something, you've got to make sure you deliver. In fact, the best way for retention is to over-deliver. And we have Nick's R3, here it's downstairs, which is a goldmine for actually how you can retain clients. It's something that I did naturally with my physical business in London for years, and I didn't even realise that's something that people need to be taught. But it's just knowing how to take care of your clients, It's like if somebody came for tea, you wouldn't leave them in the front room without a cup of tea, would you? That kind of thing. Anyway, so most immediate constraint exercise, we've got this, okay? You want to select a measurable goal. Now, I've just put in round numbers in here to make the maths easier for people to understand. So let's say, for example, you want to earn £10,000 every single month revenue, and you only want to work 6 days a week. But let's say, for example, at the moment, you were only bringing 6,000 a month and you're working, let's say 16 hours a day every day, for example. The first thing you need to do though is you want to break it into annual requirements. So you translate the big goal into numbers for the year. So you work out, for example, keep the numbers whole. In this particular instance, I'm not saying, aim for this. This is just an idea for maths, easy maths. Let's say you want to bring in 10k a month. And let's say that to do that, let's say that your offer price was at £1,000 each. So to bring in 10,000 a month, if you had 10 clients at £1,000 each, you would hit your goal of bringing in £10,000 in revenue. Okay, we're not looking at profit margins here right now. It's just an idea of how you can actually just measure how to get your most immediate constraint. Okay, then you want to break it down into quarterly targets. So you've got to think about this. Okay, how long does somebody stay? How often does somebody sign up and then leave? So let's say 50% of the people who sign up each month leave. Then that's that will be like 4 new clients you need every quarter. So if you had 10 already, you need to keep enrolling 4 new clients every quarter, so every 3 months. Okay. Then you want to break it into monthly sales. So you work backwards from that quarterly goal. So let's say by looking at your numbers that for every 10 calls, you can take 5 and close on them. So to get 4 clients at a month at a 20% close rate, you know that you're going to need to take 20 calls to get those 4 clients, because out of that amount, 16 are unlikely to turn into a sale. They might later if you know how to actually target or nurture, but right now we're just going to go for the top numbers. So does that make sense so far? These numbers are not true for everybody. Some people have a better closing rate for the sales. Some people have sometimes people have to speak to more people. If you've got the ecosystem set up around it, then sometimes you don't even need to do sales calls because they're already nurtured and they already know they want to work with you. Okay, so this is all just hypothetical at this point. But let's just say that you're working with sales calls, and that's how many calls you need to know that you need to make a month to get your 4 clients. Okay, now you want to break it down even smaller so you know what you have to do each week and each day. So let's say to convert into the minimum daily volume required, let's say you had to make 20 calls to get your 4 in per quarter. You know that you need to get 5 calls per week. So basically 1 a day. And then you just got to work out, how do you get those calls on your calendar? Let's say you need to spend £800 a month on your offer ads. And from that, on average in the past, you've managed to book in 5 calls a week from that. Okay, so that's how you can actually identify and remove your most immediate constraint. So you might look at it and go, I'm only spending £300 a month right now on my sales, on my ads. Maybe that's what I need to look first. There are other ways that you can actually bring in more calls, but you first start with what you've got. And then you could also go in a bit further into this and you're going, okay, falling short could be a volume problem, like I just said there, or you're hitting the volume or conversions are low, so it could be a skill problem. So you just go, okay, let's look at my skills. How can I up those? Oh, if you're hitting a volume and conversions, but outcomes aren't sticking, it's going to be a system problem. But most of the time these days, it doesn't tend to be a system problem. It tends to be either a bit of volume or a skill that's missing, okay? So I've got the constraint location formula here I put together that you can just go through and use for yourself. So we've got, this is how to work at the priority order for fixing. And volume really is the quickest to solve, as long as you've got a little bit of budget there or some time. So you can go through this as well. So what I'm going to do is, if you want this for yourself and you want me to walk you through it, or if you prefer Dan to walk you through it, your own immediate constraint, just comment. I'm going to say constraint is quite difficult to. Okay, just put solve below, and I'll know this is what you want. And I will send you a message first to make sure this is actually what you really do need. And if it is what you need, I'll send this over with a quick link explaining how to do it if you need it. And if I find that this is not where you're stuck right now, I will send you a resource based upon our quick chat. How does that sound?